There are some questions, however, about one of the things you did recently that some of my colleagues have struggled to figure out. You took this trip to Europe over the summer that included some meetings in Denmark and the United Kingdom. There was some time built in, however, for some R&R, which raised some questions. Was that an appropriate use of VA resources and time?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for asking about that. Look, the Washington Post did a terrible job with that. Poor reporting, I'm going to say that flat out. Didn't do their homework. This was, thank you. No, look, I came from the private sector for one reason, and that is to serve and to fix the country and to have my personal integrity and my family's integrity attacked. It shouldn't be this hard to come to Washington to serve your country and to have to go through this type of stuff. I went for business reasons. Since 1943, 5 countries, the Five Eyes, who fight the wars together, our allies, put on a conference to share practices about how to help veterans. In this case, it was about mental health. We've been doing this since 1943. The last year, Secretary McDonald hosted that in the United States, but every year it rotates. This year it was in London. Okay. For the United States not to participate that as the largest military contributor of these allied forces would be unheard of. The Secretary always goes to this. This was a business meeting, 40 hours of conference time that we presented, that we listened. I got tremendous value from this conference. On nights, on weekends, the day before the conference started, I went, and I did not lock myself in the hotel room. I went out and I went to various historic and other sites in London and in Denmark, and frankly, every penny of that was paid for by me. It was reported in the Washington Post that my wife received per diems, which is not true. Zero. Did not do that. We flew commercial airlines. Anything that we went to outside, we paid for, not the government. So there was nothing inappropriate about this, and certainly I don't mind. I'm a public figure being asked about this, and of course it's of concern to the American public. But I expect that the facts should be reported accurately, and the allegations about my integrity not be done without at least talking to me about that and finding out the facts.
I think that's part of the problem, though, being able to get to you. Because I think questions were asked at the VA, and my colleagues had trouble getting to you or getting the answers to those questions.
Well, if there was...
And that's not just the VA, that's a lot of sections across the administration where we've been asking questions. And once we get to you, once we get to the person, we discover perhaps that it wasn't as it initially seemed.
I accepted your invitation today. I am very accessible. I'm always willing to talk about issues. And, you know, look, I'm a strong believer in transparency. I publish my travel times publicly, the only cabinet member that does that. If you want to see every place I've traveled as secretary, how I travel, never taken a private jet, who I travel with and why I go, I am absolutely willing to talk about that because I think that's a responsibility using taxpayer dollars. So I'm always willing to, you know, talk about these things. I understand I don't give out my cell phone number, so you need to go through our public affairs office.
Well, and I guess on behalf of the folks who've been working on this, and this isn't just to you, this would be to virtually every cabinet department, if you're willing to talk about it, here's hoping that the public affairs staff understands.
Well, this is your chance. Ask me any question you want.
Well, all right. The Wimbledon tickets.
Yes.
Did you buy those?
Yes, they were privately done, no government money.
Okay. So they weren't given to you as a gift by folks at the Invictus Games or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
No. We went with friends.
Right.
There was no business connection to that, and there was no government money, and it was on a Saturday for one match. And last time I heard,
too, right? Is that what that?
Yeah, it was the women's. It was the women's finals, but you know, last time I checked, there's nothing illegal about going to enjoy a sporting event.
Sure. No, absolutely. Thank you for clearing that up. And the IG investigation continues. You'll participate in that as needed.
Absolutely.
Okay. And you said, just to clarify, you never take private jets. There aren't any at the disposal of the VA anyway, unless there were an
Well,
emergency
yes.
of some kind.
Well, I think that like any cabinet member, if you need to get somewhere, you can make requests. We've certainly could request certain travel if that was necessary, and past secretaries have not only traveled with their wives before, but have taken military planes and private jets as it's required. VA has facilities all over the country. Some of them aren't accessible by commercial airfare. I have not chosen to do that. The only military planes I've traveled on are when I am a guest of the President, Vice President, or First Lady.